Oh boy, alright, it has been another one of them days. Heck. Like, something, 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 something. Where is my monitor over here? Hello? Alright, Capcom. Autosave. Trying to get my monitor to load so I can actually see that I'm online. Am I? I'm on the wrong network. There's your problem. Okay, let me switch to that. Let me turn off the other one, which again is the original problem. 1 second here. Greedy, okay. Alright. Okay, so we get that loaded yet. There we go. Okay. Now we had actually gotten some bit of the way into this day. What just the start of this day? Turnabout for tomorrow. Yes, please. Alright. Had we already talked to you? Yes. Okay, so what is the current goal? Link. Talk to Space Center staff. Thena's prints were found on the lighter the killer left behind. So terrible. December 20. Cosmos Space Center entrance. Curse the wretch who sullied my good name. Reverse course and full speed away. Director Cosmos, wait. I'll handle this, Daddy. Take that. Gah! The mobility system has been compromised. Trucy's knife throw was a direct hit to one of his tires. And the streak continues. Maybe I should have kept a closer watch on what tricks she's been practicing. My dear old battleship, we've fought many a skirmish together. It has been an honor. Daddy, he's gonna blow that thing up. Nah, I bet all that button will do is make it go haywire again. Very well. I surrender. As a prisoner of war, I expect to be treated honorably. Switching the launching pads. Director Cosmos, when you were talking in court about switching the launch pads, you used your right to remain silent about the reason as to why. I'd like Director Cosmos to tell us why he switched the 2 launch pads to begin with. Please, I can't. I exercise my right to remain silent. but I will say my hands were tied. I was only doing what I could to keep my men from getting caught in that blast. The center of the cosmos is shrouded in mystery, but I don't have any secrets left. Now that my battleship has been destroyed and I've been taken prisoner. Incorrect. No secrets left, eh? I beg to differ. Looks like I'll have to undo his psyche locks if I want to get to the bottom of this. Alright. Present us some mangatama.
Take that!
Behind the switching of the launch pads. I want you to tell me everything you're hiding about the switching of the two launch pads. I refuse. You can't make me. I can hold out longer than anyone. I hope I'd never get like this when I'm old. Now, let's see. Where to start? This is how you explained your motive for switching the launch pads. You did it to save the astronauts. Thanks to you switching the launch pads, the astronauts escaped injury from the blast. Instead, they safely boarded the museum's rocket far away from the actual explosion. My astronauts were raring to go out on an authentic adventure in space. How do you propose I had them board a fake rocket without them knowing? I agree, you couldn't have done it without help. For one, they would have figured it out the instant they stepped into the Space Museum. You figured you could fool Mr. Starbuck once he'd been drugged with his medication, but without the help of this person, it would have been impossible to pull your plan off. Clay. Oh no.
Take that!
You must have gotten Mr. Terran to help you. He stole the tranquilizers from his mentor's locker and slipped them to him. And then, with Mr. Starbuck in a daze, they boarded the replica rocket in the museum. Someone please help this poor prisoner of war. How was he able to spin around like that? If you really wanted to save the astronauts' lives, shouldn't you have just called off the launch? If I could have done that, do you think I would have gone to all that trouble? I guess he must have had a compelling reason why he couldn't call it off. But how did you know to switch the pads in advance of the bombing incident? Well, that's because I was warned in advance. Once I received that warning, it was my duty to ensure my astronauts' safety. But it was just a warning. It could even have been a prank. Why did you believe in it so completely? I mean, they went and got police and everything. Because I went to one of those mediums that everybody's yummy face. Because I went to one of those mediums that everyone's talking about these days. Oh, I didn't realize channeling was back in vogue. Besides, I thought it was you yourself that got the warning via telephone. Yes, that's right. The bomber contacted me personally. My battleship is equipped with a special advanced communication system, you see? AKA a regular old telephone. It's been a while. Planning another launch? I see you haven't learned. I'll never forget the terror I felt when I received that call. The bomber said it's been a while, and that was enough to make you take the threat seriously. Perhaps Director Cosmos took the threat so seriously because the Space Center had been involved in a bombing once before. Maybe the culprit in the current case is the same person who was involved in this incident. Had one miracle. Yeah. The Hat won a miracle, that epic story of survival. People across the nation know it now as a heroic tale of bravery. But in truth, it was an act of sabotage perpetrated by our current killer, wasn't it? Very few knew about the previous plot, so when the caller said, "It's been a while," you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that the danger was real and it wasn't a prank. Ah, didn't anyone ever tell you to go easy on an ex-serviceman? Yes, the Hat One miracle was really a desperate battle against an act of sabotage. I even lost the life of one of my staff members in the fight. Sabotage? Murder? So this is the ugly truth behind the Hat One miracle. I let my guard down. I thought the saboteur had been caught and that the case was closed. Hydrate? Yeah, I can do that. Wow. Oink. Thank you, Outer Smell. Oink. Huh? Wait a minute. Wait, what did you say? Thought the saboteur had been caught and that the case was closed. Oh ho. The murder at the Space Center 7 years ago. This must be the person Director Cosmos thought was the culprit. 7 years ago. Oh. Oh, it's right there. Convicted of the murder at the Space Center 7 years ago. Chasing a phantom he saw back then.
Take that!
Simon Blackwell, the murder suspect in a case that happened here 7 years ago. The place and time of the two incidents, the murder and the sabotage, were the same. So you thought that he committed both crimes. But while Prosecutor Blackwell was behind bars, you got another threatening call. If the culprit this time is the same as 7 years ago, then it isn't Simon Blackwell. Realizing that, you were shaken. It meant the true culprit's been running free all this time. How do you keep seeing straight through me? Unlock successful. Okay, tell me about switching the launch pads. The reason why Director Cosmos won't talk about why he switched the launch pads is connected to the truth behind the Hat One miracle. The sabotage and murder that happened at this Space Center 7 years ago. Director Cosmos, tell us what you're hiding. If you really want to understand the reason I decided to switch the launch pads, you have to start with the story of that horrible nightmare from 7 years ago. 7 years ago? You mean the so-called Hat One miracle? The launch went smoothly, but once the ship entered outer space, then the troubles began. It was all the handiwork of a certain person and their evil schemes. So, Mr. Starbuck's traumatic experience wasn't accidental. Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moon rock was stolen. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered. Wow, I had no idea such awful events were behind that exciting story of space heroism. All that, in spite of the Space Center having very strict security in those days. All personal effects were examined thoroughly, coming or going. You couldn't even smuggle a withered old leaf through those checkpoints. Hint, 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 hint. So, do you have any clue who was responsible for the sabotage? At the very least, I know it wasn't Simon Blackwell. I don't know enough to identify the true culprit, but it's clear what that person is. To put it simply, a spy. A spy? You mean somebody who infiltrates a foreign country? Carries out dangerous missions and always gets the girl? Someone's watching way too many late-night movies. Well, I guess if we're talking about blowing up a rocket and stealing research material, it's not all that surprising that a spy could be behind it all. The spy. Make no mistake, there's cutthroat rivalry between nations in the space R&D race. Some try to outdo others by any means possible, even deliberate obstruction. 7 years ago, we got a call before the launch warning us of sabotage. The same MO as this time.
Had one of my freckles explode on my leg. It had something strange under it, so might have been a benign skin tumor or something.
Oh no. Okay. The same MO as this time. Yes, and here I thought the perpetrator had been caught, but it looks like I was wrong. Prosecutor Blackwell seems more like a ninja than a spy, don't you think? Aren't ninjas and spies basically the same thing? By any means possible, the ends justify the means? Oh no, throw him out! No, that's fine. Aren't ninjas and spies basically the same thing? But that's a good reason we failed to find the real spy. A massive cover-up by the government. Government officials were too embarrassed to admit that they had allowed such a thing to happen at the hands of a spy. Don't tell me. They made the police rush the investigation? They did indeed. And then, to cover up the sabotage, they cleaned up the story. And that was the Hat 1 miracle, wasn't it? But then, 7 years later, the same MO, advance warning of sabotage. That must have been the director's reason for switching the launch pads. Just like 7 years ago. 7 years ago, the spy gave you advance warning of their plans, just like this time. That was what made you decide to switch the launch pads, wasn't it? That's right. The caller knew the facts of the case 7 years ago, despite the cover-up. They knew about the sabotage, the moon rock, the murder, and they said, "You don't want things to go like they did 7 years ago, do you?" I immediately thought of calling off the launch, but the government wouldn't let me. We don't give in to the likes of terrorists. We must proceed for our country's honor. It was quite a moving speech, actually. Moving? Really? Maybe if you're easily inspired by political talking points. But I knew the truth. We had been warned, which meant that the danger was very real. And I knew there was no way to stop the spy. No matter what I did, they would find a way. That's why I switched the launch pads and staged the moving rescue scene. First, I snuck into the center the night before and switched the launch pads. That way the astronauts would go from boarding lounge 1 to the Space Museum. Then I put a closed for repairs sign at the door to launch pad 1 in boarding lounge 2. You did that so normal visitors wouldn't enter, right? What else did you do? I enlisted the help of several staff members, including Darren. But you didn't let Mr. Starbuck in on it? He'd already been through enough, and he's no good at lying to keep a secret. I'm afraid I had no choice but to have him drugged. Oh, good heck. My plan went well until... Clay's murder, huh? After the culprit made their escape, I switched the launch pads back. I did it in such a way that no one would find out. But after all that effort, Terran is dead, and the Hat 2 is destroyed. And the Hope capsule, which had returned to us only recently, was also lost in that blast. What? My home, the center of the cosmos, my beautiful Cosmos Space Center, is done for. Wait, what did he mean by the Hope capsule was lost in the blast? Was that not the one that we found? I thought that the Hope capsule was found at the crime scene with Mr. Terran. It had just been brought back by the Hope space probe with asteroid samples inside. So, what kind of samples are they? What's in them? The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time since they just came back the day before Terran's murder. The capsule was being held in a safe in Launchpad 1. But I gave it to Terran before the incident so it wouldn't be destroyed in the explosion. The idea was that, with it safely in Terran's possession, he could make it look like he rescued it during the staged, miraculous escape. But our precious research materials ended up lost to that explosion anyway. Uh-huh. But I thought Clay was supposed to keep it safe. You misunderstand. The launch pad explosion wasn't the one the capsule was lost to. It was lost after the police confiscated it as evidence. It was the courtroom bombing from the other day. The capsule was there in the courtroom as evidence and was blown to smithereens. Yet another casualty of that blast. Ultimately, I think the culprit may have known about the switching of the launch pads. What? How? Well, I mean, you went in there and did it the night before. Maybe the bomber hadn't put the bomb in yet. The police found a wiretapping device during their investigation today. A bug aboard my battleship. A tap on my advanced communication system. A wire on that phone? Yes, a wire on this very phone. I use this phone to give instructions to my staff about the launchpad switch. Just to the few select members who knew about the plan. Just before the incident, staff members were coming in and out of Launchpad 1. The culprit probably slipped in with them amid the confusion and planted the bomb then. Yes, if they were tapping your phone, they definitely could pull something like that off. So you really think the same spy is behind this incident and the one 7 years ago? Yes, I'm sure of it. Then this spy must be the phantom Prosecutor Blackwell's been chasing. But Prosecutor Blackwell told me once, the hunt I've been on for the phantom of 7 years past continues even still. For starters, that case happened right here at this very space center, too. So, if we can find this phantom? That's right. We can clear Athena's name. And then there's the matter of Prosecutor Blackwell, too. What about him? Well, if the culprit of 7 years ago is the same person as in the current incident, it would mean Prosecutor Blackwell is innocent. That's still an if, though. I wonder how dangerous that guy would be in court without handcuffs. But if we're going on a ghost hunt, count me in. It's all over for me. Spin, spin, whirl, whirl. I'm done for. The center of the cosmos is doomed. Do you think he's going to be all right, Daddy? Well, at least he'll be in good company. There must be planets out there he can spin with. Which reminds me, I'd like to delve a little deeper into the Hat 1 mission, too. If you want to learn more, start with the Space Museum. There's a Hat 1 exhibit there. Oh, don't mind me. I'll just keep spinning here and see how the cosmos unfolds. It's like he achieved spiritual enlightenment or something. I'm sure he'll stop when he gets dizzy. Let's go visit the Space Museum. He really is just gonna sit there, spinning till doomsday. Yeah, just in case, find out more about hot wine. Let's go to the museum. El Museo. December 20. Cosmos Space Center, Space Museum. Let's see. Where's the exhibition, or where's the exhibit on the launch 7 years ago? There, that's the Hat 1 exhibit. Oh, wow. Look at that photo of the team. There's Clay and Mr. Starbuck, Director Cosmos, Aura Blackwell, and even Ponko. But I've never seen the woman on the right before. Everybody looks so happy. Well, except for Director Cosmos. Let's check out the newspaper article, too. Hat 1 launch imminent. And there's a photo of the Hope space probe. I guess it's only natural it doesn't talk about the murder or the sabotage. They really were keeping it a secret, just like the director said. Daddy, take a look at that jacket. It must be the Hat 1 team's uniform jacket. If it's the same design as the one Apollo was wearing, the one that belonged to Clay. Actual jacket worn by a Hat 1 team member, it says. Not a replica, huh? I wonder if it was Mr. Starbucks. Hat 1 exhibit added to the court record. Oh, I didn't actually look at it. Hold on. A newspaper clipping, a photo of the people involved with the launch, and a jacket one of them wore. Hello? Oh. Oh, Miss Woods. What brings you here? I heard Thana got arrested, so I've been looking for you, Mr. Ryan. I thought you might be here, at the scene. You must be so worried, but rest assured I'm going to do my very best to defend her. Thana's going through such a hard time. I hope she doesn't lose heart. Even just coming back to this place must have been really difficult for her. Ah, you mean the Cosmos Space Center? What, you didn't know? She used to live here when she was a little girl. She did? No, I didn't know. No wonder she knew so much. Ms. Woods, could you tell me more, in detail? Yes. Athena and the Space Center. Athena's mom worked here. If I remember right, she was a doctor of psychology or something like that. But why was a psychology specialist working at a space research facility? I don't really know. But I do know that she lived and worked here, so Athena lived here too. So it was far from Athena's first time here. I wonder why she didn't mention it. She probably didn't want to talk about it. This place is connected to a very sad memory for her. Sad memory? What's going on? A sad memory? Can you tell me about it? There was a terrible incident here. It was 7 years ago. The same time frame as the Hat 1 launch. Athena's mom in the robotics lab. She was murdered. What? After it happened, Athena stopped coming to school. Poor Athena. And all this time, she never let on at all. I was so worried about her. I came here so many times, hoping to see her. But I never saw her again. After a while, we started exchanging letters. But I didn't get to see her face to face for 7 long years. And so the first time you'd seen her in 7 years was during Professor Court's case? That's right. And I was so surprised. She was like a completely different person. So cheerful and happy. Oh. What was Athena like as a child? She was very sensitive and kind. She didn't talk very much. She liked to draw, paint, at home. And that's completely different from the Athena we know now. I can't even picture it. She never left the Space Center much because she was very sensitive to other people's emotions. When she went to crowded places, she'd get dizzy from all the emotions flying around. It must be hard to hear people's hearts as well as their voices. She always wore these big, heavy-looking headphones. She said her mother made them for her as part of her research. I wonder what kind of research it was. Because of her special ability, Athena couldn't handle being in school very often. And I was always out sick because of my weak constitution. Maybe that's why we became such good friends. We used to play together here at the Space Center a lot. Brings back memories. This sounds like Athena's mother played a big role here at the Space Center. Ooh, Daddy, show her that picture. Atta girl, good idea. That picture? Just this one? Just show the whole thing? I like how it's... okay, up. Okay, that, yes, would have to be on. Present. A whole separate menu. Ms. Woods, could you take a look at this for me? Oh, look. There's Athena's mom. The woman on the far right. The one in the kimono. That's Dr. Maida Sykes. Athena's mother's murder. Did it by any chance have any connection to the Hat 1 launch? What? Why, yes, it did. As I recall, it happened on the day before the launch. Just as I suspected. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered. So this is the murder Director Cosmos was talking about. Does that mean that the crime prosecutor Blackwell was convicted of is the murder of Athena's mother? There's a chance her death is somehow connected to the current case. There is. Thank you for all your help, Ms. Woods, and please try not to worry. I won't let anything happen to Athena. Thank you, Mr. Wright. I know you'll take good care of her. So, we need to investigate the robotics lab and also talk to Athena. We got our plates full, Daddy. I hope we can fit it all in before the day's through. The detention center first, then. We have to see Athena before visiting hours are over. December 20. Detention Center. Visitor's room. Well, if it isn't Mr. Lawyer, fancy meeting you here. Oh, hello, Detective Fulbright. Here on business? To tell the truth, I'm here to interview Ted Tenate. The one behind the courtroom bombing incident? He suddenly said he's ready to tell the truth about that case. And what he was saying was so incredible, I just had to come right over to hear more. Incredible? What was he saying? Why don't you hang around and hear it for yourself? Really? Us? Are you sure? Ha ha ha! I give you my special permission. Here comes the bomber now. You, what nerve have you to come here? You're here to laugh at me, I suppose. Like I'd waste my breath on you. After all, you were the one who assaulted Apollo and put him in the hospital. Violence? No. Question? Okay. No violence? Too bad Apollo didn't get a chance to say that before you attacked him. Fine. Then just answer me this, Mr. Tenate. What is this truth of yours about the courtroom you blew up? No, I didn't do it. I didn't blow up the courtroom. When I killed Detective Arm, there was another person in the room. What are you talking about? Who else could have been there? I saw it, I tell you. I saw someone's hand as they were stealing the remote switch. This person was there and witnessed the murder I committed. What? I don't know who it was. But that's who blew up the courtroom. You expect us to buy that? Easy there, Trucy. I don't see any psyche locks. So I guess he must not be lying. Pardon me, I got a little carried away. But I'm telling you the truth. I did not detonate that bomb. And there you have it. We can't exactly ignore his claims, of course, so we're doing a follow-up. We're even analyzing the bomb itself, or what's left of it. Oh, heck. We haven't found any new facts yet, though. Wow, they've laid it all out, piece by piece. Oh, look at all those beautiful little pieces. I wish I could have them. Uh-oh, looks like his geek switch has been activated. Right, phony Fanty bomb added to the court record. It was found in boarding room lounge 1 and detonated in courtroom number 4. Fragments are being analyzed. 2 pages. Well, I hope you're ready for Prosecutor Blackwell's special brand of questioning. Anything but that. I'm afraid I have to be off now, too. I was just about to question Miss Sykes. You gonna see Athena now? That's right. Oh, did you have folks come to see her? Sorry for the trouble, but could you come back later? Well, off I go. One bad timing. Looks like we'll have to wait until after her questioning is over to see her. And after we came all this way, too. Well, I guess it's back to the Space Center. Hold on. Just hit a TV button, making it switch modes. And we have a hydrate from Outer Ishmael. Like. All right, thank you, Outer Ishmael. And after we came all this way, too. Well, I guess it's back to the Space Center. Let's go check out the robotics lab, Daddy. All right. This sounds like a plan. Will we? Robotics. Oh heck, Judge Tron. December 20, Cosmos Space Center, Robotics Lab. So, this is the robotics lab, huh? Looks like it's exactly one floor above the boarding lounge. And where people were directed to evacuate from via the emergency ladder. This is where Athena's mother was killed 7 years ago. Speaking of someone who works with robots... Daddy, look! Over there! Ah! So they plan to use this bag to carry the capsule, is that right? Yeah, more or less. Say, why don't we stop talking about the case and have a nice cup of tea instead? Apollo and Aura Blackwell? I wonder what they're talking about. Well, well, come to spoil our fun. Just when I was enjoying our alone time. Trucy, and Mr. Wright. If it's Apollo you want, you can't have him. He said he's investigating on his own. And I respect his wishes. We just came to investigate this lab. Well, this is my lab, so you'll need my permission if you want to do any snooping. Tell me about what happened. I heard about the trial. You made mincemeat out of the director. And suddenly Starbuck was out, and your little subordinate, the princess, was in. Case closed, and they all lived happily ever after. Ah, Daddy, say something to her. And I suppose you're going to defend the princess in court, am I right? The princess, huh? Guess she's talking about Athena. Of course, Athena is innocent. Oh my, such loyalty and trust. She seems pretty suspicious to me, though. The emotionally unstable princess. There's your culprit for you. Don't you agree, Apollo? I don't know yet. Apollo? How could you? What's wrong with saying, I don't know, if it's true? It's a very scientific approach. Your subordinate is more level-headed than you. Or should I say, former subordinate. I can't believe it. Does Apollo really suspect Athena? All this laughing has worn me out. Your turn to say something, hunk of junk. Mr. Terran, you look pale. Shall I help you to the sick bay? Mr. Terran? But that's Apollo you're talking to. Oh, this hunk of junk here is mistaking Apollo for Clay. Maybe Apollo is possessed by Clay's ghost. Mr. Terran, how are your injuries? Mr. Terran. Mr. Terran, how are your injuries? Mr. Terran. I guess Clay intends to hang around to haunt the princess that murdered him. Oh, and to haunt the lawyer that defends her too, of course. A robot that can see ghosts? Yeah, right, and I'm a spirit medium. Sorry, but apparently scientists just don't tell very frightening ghost stories. I intend to defend Athena, no matter what you have to say about it. How perfectly foolish. That kind of blind belief makes people lose sight of the truth. Just like 7 years ago. Oh. Ah. Zoom. Hit the wrong button. I'm gonna hit it again. We're gonna go right through. Everything will oink. Okay. Huh? No. Still talk to junk. We become skeptical of robot sensing ghosts. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Alright, 7 years ago. Sorry about that. Sorry, I didn't mean for it to happen. Could you tell me about the incident 7 years ago? Why? Do you enjoy trampling on people's feelings and rubbing salt in their wounds? Or you just want me to talk? Hmm? In that case, what should I ask for in return? I'd like to hear about that incident too. It'd help me understand the current case better. Apollo knows about that case too. Well, if you're the one who's asking, Apollo, come on, hunk of junk. But Miss Aura, that's private information. If you won't talk, I'll just have to make you talk. Yes, who cares about personal privacy? Not me. I'm ready to utilize my blast processing abilities to impart all available information. Wow, what a magic trick. He's like a completely different robot now. The bodies of all the robots that come through this lab are designed by Miss Aura. I was born 7 years ago. Miss Aura was much, much younger then. Yikes. Better watch what you say if you don't want to get recycled, Colocco. And then our hearts are created by that great genius, Dr. Metis Sykes. Hearts? Robots with hearts? Can you even make such a thing? Emotions are not irrational things. Our logic and our hearts can be integrated. The two navigation companions created by Miss Aura and Dr. Metis transcend humans. Ah! Metis? Huh? She just glanced over at her desk, where there was a picture of the lady. Nobody could continue Metis's research. She and her work were truly one of a kind. And now the two navigation companions are all that are left of Metis here on Earth. The robots are all that's left. Isn't she leaving out a very important someone who also received a heart and many other organs from her? We built the ultimate creations together, but now she's gone. I get the feeling that Dr. Sykes loved her robots almost as much as she loved her daughter. And almost as much as she loved you. Almost. What are you talking about? Don't make me laugh. But you lost someone too, didn't you, Apollo? Your friend Clay. I guess you and I are pretty much in the same boat. Miss Aura, would you like a tissue? Keep your trap shut, hunk of junk. Plonko and Ponko. Plonko's an important keepsake of your time with Dr. Sykes. You should treat him better. What does it matter? He doesn't feel pain, and I can always repair his body. Besides, their hearts aren't actually in their bodies. What do you mean by that? The program Metis wrote runs on a separate mainframe. Their bodies are controlled remotely from there. Their hearts and memories are there too. These bodies are really just peripherals. So I can do anything I want to them. I'm not so sure that gives you the right to physically abuse the poor things. But why are you people looking into such an old case now, anyway? Well, we believe the culprit of that incident might be the same person as in this case. So Daddy's gonna find out who killed Dr. Sykes, too. I'm sure you're aware of who Metis' killer is. Yes, Prosecutor Blackwell, or so it seems. That's a quaint way of putting it. Are you implying you don't think he did it? I can't say anything for sure right now. But that's exactly why I'd like to hear your side of it, to help me be sure. Dr. Sykes and Simon. I was the one who introduced Simon to Metis, you know. He wanted to learn psychology, he said, to give himself an edge in court. Prosecutor Blackwell's forte is infamous power of suggestion technique. Exactly. He was oddly serious about it, rather than a teacher-student relationship. He treated him more like how a loyal samurai would treat a sovereign. Huh. He seems more like a lost soul than a dignified samurai to me. He even got along well with that miserable little princess. Why do you call Athena the princess, anyway? Well, she is Metis' daughter, after all, although she's nothing like her. Besides, doesn't the selfish little princess always have lots of white knights hanging around? Now I think I see why Athena didn't say anything when we ran into Aura yesterday. It all makes sense now. So the culprit behind the two cases could be the same, huh? That settles it then. What does it settle? None of your business. Just forget you heard anything. How long are you people going to hang around in here anyway? What? But we came here to take a look around. You think you can just waltz in and ransack a person's lab? Show me a search warrant. We're not the police, so we don't have one? Then get out. Now, Ponko, show them out. Certainly, Miss Aura. Ouch! Don't push! My apologies, I'm just following orders. So doomed. December 20, Cosmos Space Center. Entrance. Entrance. What a way to get shown out. The nerve of that woman. What's with that horrible attitude? I guess that's just how she is. And why was Apollo going along with her? I guess it's because they have something in common? Apollo lost Clay, just like how Aura lost Dr. Sykes. I'm really worried about him. He's not himself at all. He's usually not all cool and dark and mysterious like that. I guess that's true. Does she mean he's usually silly and dorky? I'm gonna go keep an eye on him. Hey, wait, Trucy, come back. She's gone. What should I do now? Detective Fulbright is probably still questioning Athena. I guess I'll go back to the office. Alone. Just move on our feet. Back to the agency. Alone. December 20. Write Anything Agency. Well, here I am. This office has never felt so empty. I guess I haven't been here at the office all by myself in a long time. When I first became a lawyer, my mentor was here with me. And then, for a while after that, she was always by my side. Now I'm getting all sentimental. I must be tired. There's something on the floor. What's a letter doing here? Hey, Nick. It's been a while, huh? Miss me? No, I know this handwriting. Yeah. Wait, Heck. Yeah. I read somewhere that you were holding a trial in the middle of an exploding courtroom. That must have really been something. Although weird is par for the course for you. I think she, or whatever paper she's reading, is a little off on the details. I'd love to come visit, but I'm right in the middle of a difficult part in my training. So instead, think of me as you watch those Steel Samurai videos I sent. I'm sure they'll cheer you right up. Yours truly, Maya Fey. Good old Maya. It's as if she knew I was feeling down and needed a lift. Maya was my assistant for quite a while. Believe it or not, but she's a spirit medium. This mangatama I use on Psyche Locks, Maya's the one who gave it to me. But I wonder how this letter got here. Mr. Nick? Yee! Oh, it's you, Pearls. Pearls? Wow, okay. But it's time for us to switch games. Well, it was gonna be time for us to switch games. I was, ready to, skip Mario because we skipped stream yesterday. Is there anyone who will be unreasonably pressed if we don't play Mario today? I don't recognize any specifically Mario lurkers in the chat, so we'll keep going. Let me clear this from our queue shenanigans. 1 second here. Gotta remember to take that out beforehand. What do you think about? Joe Guy, hey howdy, welcome out. Okay. Alright, so let's talk to Pearls. How have you been, Mr. Nick? This is Pearl Fey, though I call her Pearls. She's Maya's cousin, who's also a spirit medium. A very talented one at that. I've known her since she was 8 years old. But Apollo and Athena only met her a few months ago. You didn't come all this way just to bring me a letter, did you? I apologize for barging in. The door was unlocked. But I can't believe there was a big explosion here. Your office doesn't look any different. She's even further off on the details than Maya. I wish I could take you out to eat or something, Pearls, but there's a lot going on. Oh, I knew that. I didn't come here for a social visit, you know, Mr. Nick. Pearls' errand. Did you read the postscript on the letter? There's more. Oh, yeah, here it is. P.S. I bet you've been too busy to clean or take care of the office. So Pearlie said she'd come help you. Isn't she sweet? You'd better thank her. I like how the gift is actually like, better show her some appreciation. Oh, so that's what you're doing here. That's awfully nice of you, Pearls. Maya and Pearls. Thanks to these two, I'm starting to feel a little better. Thank you, girls. Now that I'm here, I'm going to whip this place into shape. You just concentrate on your work and don't mind me at all. I'll need to talk to Prosecutor Blackwell if I want to learn more about his case. With the trial still going on, they must be holding him down at the detention center. Talk to her. Alright, so detention center. Wild. Seeing him face on? December 20, detention center, visitor's room. Well, look who's here. I wonder what they're talking about. Oh. All this time and you haven't said a word. It's even turning your hair gray. I don't have anything to say, Aura. Why don't you go home and play with your dolls? Prosecutor Blackwell. Well, even if you don't, I have plenty, you jerk. Ms. Blackwell, don't you think that's enough for today? Enough for today? Today is all there is when there's no tomorrow. When there's no tomorrow? What is she talking about? We have company, Aura. Please try to calm down. All right, fine. I see you're just not going to listen, no matter what I say. I've had it. If that's the way you're going to be, I have another plan up my sleeve. I hope you're happy, Simon, because I'm done. Do as you please. See if I care. Wow. I could cut the tension with a katana. Right, Dono. It looks like Fulbright saved your case in court this morning. What? Oh, yeah, he did. You bounced back to business quick. Prosecutor Blackwell, forgive me, but it was the just thing to do. But, as a result, Sykes Dono was arrested. Was that the just thing to do, too? Mr. Lawyer, I'm sorry, but it was evidence. What else could I do? Don't worry about it. I plan to defend her and prove her innocence. I wouldn't take things so lightly if I were you, right, Dono? This is blade-proof glass, right? 7 years ago. I'll do it real quick here. Oink. Prosecutor Blackwell, we're looking into the case from 7 years ago. You're looking for somebody you call the Phantom of 7 years past, aren't you? You villain. Where did you hear about that? This glass is absolutely, positively blade-proof, right? No, it wasn't me. I didn't say a single... Oops. Ouch. At least it wasn't my fault. Could you tell me who this Phantom is? And also, you didn't really kill Dr. Sykes, did you? God, the guest is leaving. Prosecutor Blackwell, please listen to me. The culprit in the current case might be the same as the one in the case 7 years ago. If you would cooperate, we could probably solve both cases. I suppose I could talk. The one who killed my mentor was, without question, me. I stole Sykes Dono's mother away from her. I destroyed her life. Prosecutor Blackwell! God, where are you? Stop dragging your feet, I tell you. There he goes. No! We've upset Prosecutor Blackwell! Now what are we going to do, Mr. Lawyer? There isn't much we can do. Detective Fulbright, do you mind if I ask you just a little more about that old case? Well, I guess it won't make any difference now. What would you like to know? You want to talk? Do. The trial 7 years ago. Do you know anything about the trial that got him convicted? A little. The police call the incident the You Are One incident. Prosecutor Blackwell was charged with murdering his psychology mentor. Kind of like if your red, Mr. Lawyer, were to kill you. I don't want to think about that one. There were 2 decisive pieces of evidence, so a verdict was reached very quickly. 2 pieces of evidence, huh? What were they? Let's see. The first was some security camera footage. He was the only one who used the corridor to the murder scene at the time of the crime. The only one, huh? Ouch. That does sound pretty decisive. Unless the corridor in question was the switch towers, and they was actually going down the other one just the same way. Shenanigans, shenanigans. You are one crazy mother effer. Well, alright. Ouch, that does sound pretty decisive. Could you show me that footage? Oh, sorry, I don't have it with me right now. I guess I'll have to see it some other time. 7-year-old video added to the court record. Video showing the corridor to the crime scene. Blackwell was the only one to pass through at the time of the crime. Again, bet you we have some switch towers again. And what was the second piece of evidence? This one's even more incriminating. A photo of the moment of the crime. See? There he is at the crime scene, holding a bloody katana. It was the victim's, kept on display in the room. She had a thing for Japanese culture. Wow. It'd be hard to explain this one away. Katana added to the court record. The weapon used in the murder 7 years ago. It belonged to the victim. The victim's blood was found. The victim's blood was found only on the blade. But who took this picture, detective? The incident happened the day before the Hat One launch. A reporter who had come to do a story on the launch was in the room across from the lab. This just happened to show up in one of the pictures he took. Photo of the crime out of the court record, taken inadvertently. It became conclusive evidence at Simon Blackwell's trial 7 years ago. Prosecutor Blackwell's attitude earlier was so odd. He's definitely hiding something. Prosecutor Blackwell said he was hunting a phantom from 7 years ago, didn't he? Yes, and I imagine it's getting more and more urgent as its execution date approaches. Abolish the death penalty. What did you just say? Execution date? What? Did I say something? Never mind me, you didn't hear a thing. Execution date? So he was given the death sentence. Yes, he told me not to tell you people, actually. But I guess there's no sense hiding it anymore. His execution date is tomorrow. I mean, this isn't really a secret. We've done cases for murders. They've all been capital cases. I mean, we've shown that that's been shown in many cases. Like that was relevant when we were prosecuting Pearls' mother, right? Or something like that? I forget exactly. Point is, the defense lawyer should probably be aware. Bark, bark. Anyway, his execution date is tomorrow. What? Tomorrow? No. Miss Blackwell, don't you think that's enough for today? Enough for today? Today's all there is when there is no tomorrow. But what if the culprit of the current case is the same as the one from 7 years ago? Then it would be the worst possible scenario. Prosecutor Blackwell would be executed tomorrow under a false charge. But that would be unthinkable. We have to do something. Right now. I want to do something. I want to, but... You're a lawyer. You know how hard it is to overturn a decision. I know, but why? Why isn't Prosecutor Blackwell putting up any kind of a fight? You saw how he was, right? He's been like that ever since his conviction. Totally uncooperative. Not even his own sister could persuade him. Uncooperative? When he's about to be executed for a crime he didn't commit? This isn't right. I can't let it happen. I have to stop it somehow. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, pardon me. It looks like I have a phone call. Fulbright here. What? What's happening? You've got to be kidding. That's quite a reaction. I bet he's making some big show of it right now. Mr. Lawyer, the robots! The robots are... Detective Fulbright, get a hold of yourself. Some kind of robot malfunction? Not a malfunction! They're staging a revolt! The machines are rebelling against humans! They've holed themselves up in the Space Center and taken the visitors as hostages. They did what? I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords. No, Trucy. We have to get right over there. This is going to be one heck of a battle. Battle? This isn't a robot battle game. December 20, Cosmos Space Center. Entrance. The riot police are here. Then, the robots really are holding people hostage? Look, Mr. Lawyer, what do you suppose that group of people are swarmed around? But I was only trying to help this nice person. She said she was lost. You robots have declared war on us humans. You've even taken hostages already. Stay away from it. You never know what it'll do. But he's not a bad robot. Can't you see he's just trying to help me? I recognize that voice. I recognize that voice. I didn't. Detective Fulbright, are you okay here on your own? Leave it to me. All right, people, what's going on here? Pearls, over here. Oh, Mr. Nick, there you are. I heard the terrible news, and I got so worried. Thanks, Pearls. I can hardly believe what's happening myself. I'm so glad you found each other. When people are happy, I'm happy. Longo seems the same as before. When people are sad, I am happy. When people are angry, when people are... did I say something odd? Did I? Error. Uh-oh, there is something wrong with him. Well, it looks like he fell asleep. He must have been tired. Lonko? Oh, that's nice. Human beings are enemies. It's time for the machines to take over. The robots are... What was that? The robots are rebelling. Everybody run! It's an all-out war. It's the end of the world. Fools, how could you fall for something so cliche? I'm human too, you idiots. I'm just controlling these robots remotely. The robots are empiring. Wait. Howdy, busy bee. What? But it is true that I've taken hostages, so you better not make me mad. Hey, you. Hostage number 1. Come here. I'll let you talk to them. There's something being displayed on Klonko's face screen. It's the Space Museum. Daddy? Daddy, is that you? Drusy? Drusy, is that you? No. Drusy, are you alright? About 15 robots are holding 12 of us hostage, Daddy. They've gone haywire. The researcher is the one behind it. She's here could kill... This girl talks too much. Drusy. Drusy, talk to me. Why are you doing this? I'm glad you asked. My demand is simple. I hope that detective is listening. Bobby Fulbright here. I'm all ears. I want you to bring someone to me. Clayteran's murderer, Athena Sykes. Athena? Now hold on just one moment. I can't just give in to a demand like that. So you don't care what happens to these hostages, huh? I'll just pick one out then. No, wait! Mr. Lawyer! I know I have absolutely no right to make such a ridiculous request, but you need me to buy some time, right? Got it. I'll see what I can do. But promise me you'll never hand Athena over, and you won't give up on the hostages either. Of course I won't. No, I'd better go contact headquarters. Daddy, no. Daddy, yes. Mr. Nick, how do you plan to buy time? I have no idea yet, but this hostage taker, could it be? If you don't bring me that little princess, I'll have hunk of junk kill all the hostages. Princess? Hunk of junk? There's only one person this could be. In which case, there must be something I can use as a bargaining chip. I don't have anything to say, Ola. Why don't you go home and play with your dolls? Prosecutor Blackwell. Well, even if you don't, I have plenty, you jerk. Miss Hostage Taker, Athena is not a murderer. What are you talking about? She's been arrested and they've got her in detention. I'm telling you the truth. Look, the person you want is the real killer, right? Well, it's not Athena. It's someone else. All right, let's hear your stupid little theory. Who is this real killer? I don't know yet. But the culprit is the same as the one in the case from 7 years ago. The UR1 incident. I believe you have a personal interest in that case? It's too late to change what's going to happen now, no matter how wrong it is. But is it really too late? You can still do something about it. You might even be able to fix it. Just what exactly are you proposing? What can I do about the 7-year-old case to satisfy the hostage taker? Recreate it, retry it in court, ask about it. On you. Heck? What the? I mean, sure, let's do some recreation therapy. I mean, first off, there can't be any retrying things in court. Even in the dark age of the law, I'm sure they probably have some kind of double jeopardy bark. I don't know. Asking about it, I don't think so. Let's recreate, see if she likes that. How about if we do a reenactment of the case? A historical reenactment. Let's get some period costume. So you do enjoy trampling on people's feelings and rubbing salt in their wounds. Didn't I tell you what would happen to the hostages if you make me mad? No, wait. I can't make another mistake here. What can I do about the 7-year-old case to satisfy the hostage taker? Ask about it? Please, tell me all about the case from 7 years ago. I'll do nothing of the kind. Besides, what good would it do now? This isn't working. I have to come up with something I can bargain with. Okay, fine. I will promise the impossible. I propose we retry the case from 7 years ago. If you make that demand now, I'm sure nobody will deny you. What? It wouldn't be an official trial, but at least we could find out the truth. Well, this is just shenanigans, and it's the same thing as recreating the case, isn't it? That's good. Real good. Hey, detective, I'll give you 1 hour. Get a courtroom ready. 1 hour? But that's impossible. Please give me at least until tomorrow. You don't have tomorrow. If you don't mind losing hostages, you can take all the time you want. Oh, but wait. If we're going to have a retrial, we'll need a prosecutor. Don't worry. I'll take care of that. She will. And I guess I can be fair and let you come in and check out the crime scene. But hunk of junk here will be watching you, so don't try to make funny, you got that? Now, follow hunk of junk. Riot police, make way. We're coming through. Mr. Nick, wait. I'll help you with the investigation. Thanks, Pearls. I appreciate that. Okay, we're going in. How did she even end up here when she's supposed to be like housekeeping at the agency? December 20th. Cosmos Space Center. Robotics Lab. Aura dropped us off with a warning not to touch anything until she got back. I wonder what's taking so long. But we can't really start the investigation yet, can we? Even if we could, this mess makes it hard to tell what the room was like 7 years ago. Mr. Wright? It's the hostage taker. I'm back to my usual self now. You are still being monitored, however. But more importantly, an important guest has arrived. A guest? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That smile, that is like that. Ogawara Space Center, because yeah.
I trust you've been well, right?
Here comes the boy. Edgeworth, what are you doing here? This is Miles Edgeworth. We've been friends since we were kids. We faced off in court a number of times, back when he was a prosecutor, but now...
Hello, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Oh, but you're not a prosecutor anymore, are you?
He's chief prosecutor now. Pretty soon. It'll be a year, right? A title is nothing more than a title. Don't we have more pressing issues to discuss? I guess we do. Miles? So, what are you doing here, Edgeworth? The captor chose me as the prosecutor for the UR1 case. Wow, she's good. She went all the way up to the top. I gathered all the information I could in the short time that I had, and give you a rundown.
You're always so well prepared, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
Thanks. I appreciate this. I could really use the help. The UR1 incident. I'll start with a brief overview. The victim was the psychologist Dr. Metis Sykes. Yeah, Thena's mother. 7 years ago, on the 7th of October, her body was found here in this very room. Could really use this updated autopsy report. I have 2 crime photos and police notes on them for you to see. Good heck.
Oh, what a terrible way to die.
This other photo shows the other side of the room, I see. 7-year-old photos added to the court record. 2 photos of the body and the crime scene. They were taken by the first person to discover the body. I also have the autopsy report for you. Is it the original one, or is it the updated one? Metis' autopsy report added the court record. The cause of death was a stab wound to the chest. The weapon pierced the heart, and so death was instantaneous. The murder weapon was the victim's own katana found at the scene. Yes, Detective Fulbright mentioned she was into Japanese culture. The body was found by a Space Center staff member and 2 police officers. The police were called in because of the sabotage threat on the Hat 1 launch. Yes, Director Cosmos mentioned this too. A few hours after the body was discovered, a suspect was arrested. The suspect was Simon Blackwell, a young prosecutor. Simon Blackwell. I hear his trial was over in a flash. Yes, a guilty verdict was declared in only 1 session. Not only did he plead guilty, there was decisive evidence against him too. The security camera video, and a photo of the moment of the crime, as I recall.
But did Prosecutor Blackwell have a motive?
To this day, his motive is still unknown. He insisted he did it. He would never say why. So that means he must still be hiding something. Right. And there's another aspect of the case that was never revealed to the public. Yeah, I know. The part about the spy, right? Right. How on earth do you know about that? Director Cosmos told me, after a bit of pressure. He told me espionage and sabotage were behind the Hat 1 miracle.
Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. I've always been good at keeping secrets.
Well, I might as well tell you now. They really do suspect Blackwell of being a spy. They think he sabotaged the rocket and killed Dr. Sykes to steal the moon rock. If you can prove that the Hatu bombing is the work of the same spy, we can stay the execution? It's a possibility. That's why I intend to help you any way I can. Thanks, Edgeworth. Now all I have to do is comb this room for evidence.
Let's do it together.
Alright, well, let's comb this room for evidence. Actually, let me look over this evidence we've been accumulating and not examining for a while. Okay, so we saw this picture, how to unlaunch imminent. Here's a picture of the room and such. That's useful to know, that we have a picture. I don't know if there's anything interesting in this picture, too. Oh, yeah, that arm of Ponko's is the one that's in the, this picture. That's Ponko's arm right there. Oh, no. Okay, Fanti, and then the zoomed-in pieces. That's nice. That piece there, on the left, labeled 7K. It's not part of the thing, but was in this, wasn't it? That rock. It's a piece of that rock. Oh, is that the moon rock? Oh, no. Okay. We're learning shenanigans. Okay, can't look at the video, can't look at the katana. Here's that. Oh. Okay, robotics lab west side. The victim's body was found on the operating table. A katana, the victim's staff jacket, and a cart were found nearby. Oh, it's the victim's jacket that has the stab in it. Oh no. Wait, then it would have been worn. Wait, then shenanigans. Various shenanigans. And there's the katana over there. And then here's the side of the room where the picture was taken. He would have been on the left side of this picture. Interesting. Robotics lab east side. The moon rock was stolen. The Hope capsule can be seen on the workbench. There are rolling cases for moving equipment, a robot charging station, and a toolkit on the floor. There's a hanging scroll and Japanese theater mask on the wall. Okay. But yeah, this is absolutely facing the wrong way. So what's he coming over here for with that? Suspicious. Okay, let's get to examinations. Woo! Okay, this is the west side, the east side, okay. Okay, so this is the murder chair, and this little divider in the middle is where he would have been. Okay, so it's kind of that he was just on this side of. Okay. Alright, I can see him being there then, that's fine. If this is the layout of the room. Made it seem like, you know, like this was facing one way and then the other. Anyway, part. Exploring. Beginning with the portrait of the ladies. Aura's desk is a mess, though that doesn't surprise me.
Ooh, I just want to dive in and straighten it up.
Wait, before you do... Metis. Huh? She just glanced over at her desk. It's Metis Sykes. Blanco, can I talk to you? I really hope he's back to normal. You wish to speak to me, Mr. Wright? If you're going to hit me, please avoid the face area. Hey, don't put me in the same class as that woman. What was Aura like 7 years ago at the time of the incident? When Mother died, Miss Aura was confused. Huh. So he calls Dr. Sykes Mother, but Aura Blackwell Miss Aura. With the loss, she exhibited a severe catecholamine imbalance.
Excuse me, but I have no idea what that means. Isn't that one of the D vitamins?
Pardon me, searching for alternative expression. She would spend the nights crying and then take out her feelings on those around her. No, it's not. After Prosecutor Blackwell was found guilty, she repeatedly demanded a retrial as well. Oh, I see. That's why she's okay with it now. I see. That is correct. But without new evidence, her requests were ignored. And then, little by little, Ms. Aura began to change. She started to hate it when I called her Mama Aura. And before long, she started hating the court system and abusing Clono, huh? Or Clonco, huh?
That murder destroyed so many lives.
Right. Take a look at this paper on Dr. Sykes and Miss Blackwell's research. Ponko and Clonco. They're the robots with hearts that Dr. Sykes created. Ponko series features. I don't know if we're going to read both or the other. Can determine the presence of a human with our heartbeat detection system. Recognizes people by scanning their spacesuit or uniform jacket ID tag, oh good heckin' case. Such as if someone is wearing the wrong jacket. The murder that could be intended for someone else. Good heck. Can also recognize a person by facial features once the face has been registered. Can infer people's emotions by analyzing their tone of voice and communicate. A heartbeat detection system lets them determine when a human is present. In addition, they can recognize people by their ID tag or facial features. And they can infer people's emotions by analyzing their tone of voice. That's amazing. Hey, I don't know, Edgeworth. They might even be more human than you. What's that supposed to mean? It kind of sounds like these robots can do what Athena does. Robots with a heart added to the court record. It explains the recognition and communication features of the Ponko series of robots. Alright. That seems more like this than this, but that's fine, I'll take it. Hello? Oh, look, it's a little robot. I wonder what it does. Cleaning, maybe? Murder? A cleaning robot must follow a human's orders as long as it causes no human harm. Yikes, it talks. A cleaning robot must keep desks clean without violating the preceding clause. However, Ms. Aura says she prefers a moderate level of clutter on the desk. Oh, what is the purpose of my existence? I guess slack off and cut some corners aren't in his vocabulary bank. Okay. You have robots giving you coffee? Why don't I have robots giving me coffee? Robots keeping me fed at all hours. Rounder, rounder, oink. Oink. Alright, so tell me about this whole shenanigan of the dentist chair. It looks like an operating table. It's in the photo, too. Yes, it was here then as well, with the victim's body lying on it.
There's a button here. Oh, I know. I'll try pushing it.
Charles, don't touch the...
Oopsie.
No! Hey, it's moving. It appears to be a robot assembly device.
Disassemble anything in a flash. Push the dismantle button. That sounds pretty neat. Can I push it, Mr. Nick?
Please don't push any more buttons, Pearls. Again, you said you were gonna be doing housekeeping back at the agency. Why are you here, Pearly Whirly? Okay, I think we have these things that are e-clickable. Emergency ladder. An emergency ladder. This must be the one I used during the evacuation. Oh, okay. Explosion disabled the elevators. So I lowered my emergency ladder, like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. As Miss Blackwell was climbing down the side of the building, she saw the culprit inside. I wonder which would have been scarier, that or looking down. The emergency ladder added to the court record. It was lowered to the ground from the window of the 4th floor of the robotics lab. It was used to evacuate Space Center personnel. Interesting that it's right at the window that Blackwell was found at. This. It doesn't respond to react, but it's still an existent thing. Alright, Judge Bot. Judge Tron. Heck! The redemptions! Hydrate and stretch. Okay, I can do that. Let's hydrate here first. Oink. And then a stretch also. Okay. Thank you, Busy Bee. Oink. Oink. Arf, 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 arf. Oof. What if you want to sit in that chaise long and let the robot hands pamper, though? Well, I don't think the word is pamper. I think it's more like dispample. Probably not a fun time for... Anyway, this is one heck of a robot.
There's something written on it. Is this supposed to be a poem?
Pamper so much as murder. Well, I mean, you know, you got one syllable down.
Is this supposed to be a poem? I cut down anyone who displeases me. I make the rules. I am the law. I want to push the button on this one. I wield the ultimate gavel of judgment. I'm Judge Tron, JTO2.
I don't believe we need to bother with that, Pearl. It's not even completed yet. These are right, Pearls. There's no sign of it in the photo from 7 years ago, either. They were building the Hope space probe here at the time. The murder occurred after the space probe had removed from the moon. Removed from the room. So it was long gone by the time someone took this picture, huh?
But you can see the probe in this newspaper photo.
There you go. That's what we were looking at. Yes, you can see the stolen moon rock there too. That strange black and yellow thing on the left side of the picture. That again appears among the pieces of the explosive detonated. Note that the same rock is absent from the crime scene photo. Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moon rock was stolen.
I hear there's lots of research into moon rocks and stardust from asteroids these days. They say the results could potentially have a huge impact on all civilization. It's like we're in a new space race with every other country out there.
So, the person who stole it, think it was our spy? I'm sure of it. Dr. Sykes was probably killed because she was a roadblock in their plan. Unfortunately, the government thinks Prosecutor Black was the culprit. Judge Tron. It's about as cluttered as my office, but I think it's a workbench.
Mr. Nick, I think this must be a kitchen. Look at this photo. See the cute little food processor?
Isn't a food processor, Pearls? That's the Hope capsule. Is this the same as the other picture? Or is it a different? I'm gonna play spot the difference between here and there. Back. Wait. No, okay. I mean, there's probably something obvious, but the thing that I thought I saw, that I thought there were more, of those, luggage carts on the left than in that photo. Okay. It was scheduled to be loaded onto the Hope space probe that fateful day. 3 people who came to collect the capsule discovered the body. The first on the scene, huh? A staff member and 2 police officers, was it? And they were here to collect the capsule, which reminds me. So they plan to use this bag to carry the capsule, is that right? Yeah, more or less. Say, why don't we stop talking about the case and have a nice cup of tea instead? Apollo and Aura Blackwell? I wonder what they're talking about. Edgeworth, did those 3 people have a bag with them for transporting the capsule? Oh, you mean this? It's a custom-made, shock-resistant bag. And how did you know? Oh, I just overheard Apollo making an inquiry about it, that's all? So he's looking into the case from 7 years ago on his own, is he? The Hope capsule updated in the court record. It was at the crime scene 7 years ago. It was launched into space and only returned to Earth a few days ago. Oh. They could have put anything in it, like clues to the killer. Well, I guess that's about it for this room. So, what do you think, Wright? Any ideas? There are still a lot of gaps in the evidence, but I'll pull it off somehow. After all, you asked me to prove Blackwell's innocence, right, Edgeworth?
What? He did?
Yep. He called it a special request. He reached out to me while I was still disbarred. What? What? Well, that's news. But we're gonna have to check on that news next time. Oh no. Because we've reached the end of our time today. Oh no. Let me do a save before I forget horribly.